Hey friends! This time we're taking a look at a film set in the past, which is always a tricky thing to get right. If you go too far with a trillion references, it gets tiresome. If you don't go far enough, it looks and feels fake. This one mostly strikes the right balance. We're talking about Hanover Street, a wartime romance from 1979 starring Harrison Ford and Lesley-Anne Down. Our story goes like this. The year is 1943, and American bomber pilot Lieutenant Halloran happens to meet a cute British nurse named Margaret on Hanover Street one day. They have tea and are hitting it off when the Germans start hitting London. They're both instantly attracted to each other, but it turns out the chick is married. Still, she can't keep away, and this is a young Harrison Ford after all, so you can't really blame her. So they wind up meeting for makeouts on the regular. Now, this creates a problem for Halloran since he now has something to live for, and as such, doesn't take the risks he should be taking on his bombing missions, and he starts to crack up a bit when others who take his place on one flight get wiped out. Margaret's husband, meanwhile, is training men to go undercover in Ratsy land, but they keep getting caught. The Ratsies have a list of double agents in their headquarters, which needs to be copied without the Ratsies knowing about it. And feeling like a weak sister, the hubby decides to go on the mission himself and try his hand at being a hero, so he'll have a little self-respect. And who's gonna be chosen to fly him into occupied France? Why, Halloran, of course! One thing leads to another, and Halloran and the husband must bail out and go into the lion's den together and get the secret info from the Ratsies. Can the pair complete the mission and make it out alive? Which man will Margaret choose in the end? And can Margaret's daughter possibly be any more annoying? This movie is a case of substitutions. Chris Christopherson was originally supposed to star, but he bailed. Sarah Miles and Genevieve Bujold were both in line to play Margaret, but when Christopherson left, they turned it down too. So that left the movie to Harrison Ford and Lesley-Anne Down. Ford had never played a romantic lead character before, and he really wanted to. Unfortunately, he did not enjoy making this picture and claims to have never seen the finished product. Still, he's good here, as you'd expect. He carries off the brash American flyer thing quite well. Down is good too. Really liked her. She starred in lots of stuff, most notably as Georgina in the original Upstairs, Downstairs. Christopher Plummer is Christopher Plummer, enough said. He was great here as the husband and father trying to make a heroic stand, so his wife will be proud of him. You'll also spot this guy, Shane Rimmer, as Ford's commanding officer. Rimmer was a longtime character actor who was the sub-commander in The Spy Who Loved Me, and also appeared in the Space Brain episode of Space 1999. His lasting claim to fame, however, is as the voice of Scott Tracy, the pilot of Thunderbird 1 in The Thunderbirds Super Marionation TV series by Jerry Anderson. And you may also spot, or at least hear, Cliff Clavin from Cheers. John Ratzenberger plays the sergeant on Ford's bomber crew. Our old friend Peter Hyams is back with us. He also directed Outland, Time Cop, and 2010. This one is sort of an homage to other movies, most notably Waterloo Bridge, hence the name of the place the characters first meet, Hanover Street, being the title of the film. The movie has a few callbacks to other films as well. D-Day the 6th of June has a similar love triangle between a married British woman, her husband, and an American officer. And Plummer's commanding officer has a lot of trouble finding a decent pipe tobacco, a thing lifted directly from the bridge on the River Kwai. As for a sense of time and place, I think Hanover Street is just excellent. Everything just looks right. The streets of London, the airbase, even an air raid on the city, really just all of it looks great. And these planes? Those are real. Those are real planes. In fact, the plane Ford's character flies here really did see action in 1944. So, unlike Memphis Belle, a great war movie with bombers, this one has more reality since they're using real, actual planes for everything, not models. The only model plane is one that gets blown up in midair. I love Memphis Belle, but yeah, this movie tops it as far as the use of real planes. There are a few minor anachronisms, but nothing that really leaps out at you. Aside from the length of Harrison Ford's hair. That's not regulation, mister. Seriously, you want to be in a movie like this, set in the past and in the military? Just cut your damn hair. Ugh, honestly. Sadly, this movie was a big flop, which is a shame. It gets so much right, you'd think it would have fared better at the box office. True, the team-up of the two men is a bit contrived, but you like both of these characters anyway, so you're able to just go with it. The picture features a lovely score by John Barry, too. It really hits the lush, romantic high notes, so to speak. I'm giving this one 3 paws up. Hanover Street deserves to be revisited. Granted, the movie is a bit slow, perhaps, but it's still well worth a watch. There are no weak performances. The action is good. The bombing of London is very exciting. They used real, actual planes. It's romantic, and the textures of 1943 and the overall era are very well realized. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.